Alright, welcome back. We are, this is going to be part 1 of our catch-up series. Not catch-up series, but it's going to be 1 or 2 parts, because the game's really long. I have stuff in my personal life, and getting Storm Silver back up to Mount Moon. Mount Moon is where we got flummoxed by our rival. That's not on, man. So it's taking too long. So I figured I want to upload something once a week still, but it's going to be split between like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, of course, just because that's just what I'm doing. So I figured we would do it in parts. So I'll be able to do part 1, part 2. This is like 11 fights. This gets to the end of Seamwood City's Team Rocket, and then it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to the Elite Four and Mount Moon. Ideally, it's just me still having to play the game. So I just wanted to run through more of a commentary of what's happened so far and why I've done certain things. I'll go over anything that I can think of that's important. It's just going to be the major fights, and that's about it. So yeah, I think we just move straight into our first fight, which is... apparently it's like a... Oh, there we go. Which is the Elder in the Sprout Tower. So I can't say I planned for many of these fights realistically. It's more of just watching or looking at the Nuzlocke tracker and just trying to kind of keep myself ahead of what they might be doing. I did the plans for a couple of fights. This one here, there's no real plan at all. It's just one of the harder fights at the start, just because you got very little. And Hoo-Hoot's actually a bit of a prick, to be honest. Hoo-Hoot's a pain in the ass. Like seriously. We caught ourselves a Bronzong in Dark Cave, or Bronzor, sorry, which is really, really cool. I think the only encounter. We're going into the Faulkner fight now in just a second, and the Faulkner fight's pretty easy. If you get Jolteon from the Eevee, if you get the Eevee, then get Jolteon, get yourself just above or just below level 15, you can pretty much Thundershock your way through the entire fight. I have yet to lose this fight, like anything in this fight. This is the closest I've ever come, I think, to even losing Jolteon ever in this fight when going with Jolteon. Glaceon's just as good, but Jolteon has more in the ways of usefulness as the game goes on, because electric types are kind of scarce. I think you can catch a Shinx outside of Violet City on the right hand side by a Dark Cave, but I wouldn't risk it. Once again, just getting the fire types from the quiz dude inside the Pokemon centers. This is the Rocket Protoss or whatever it is, so we lost Natu there, which kind of sucked. Actually really sucked, because I like the typing, and Psychics are always good. So this next fight's actually kind of difficult, just because I still have yet to figure out how to beat this without losing anyone. You would think that many flying types would, be easily taken out with electricity and stuff, but I've yet to be able to bring a rock-type Pokemon to this fight. I think a rock-type Pokemon would just blitz straight through it, because it shouldn't be able to take too much, except for like from the Heracross, which I think has a fighting-type move. I also opted out of catching a Pokemon in Union Cave, because I'm going back for the Lapras on a Friday, whenever that ends up happening, which I might just force out just so that I can get it. Once again, size is just the biggest pain in the butt. You can see a rock-type move just blitz through it like it was nothing. Bronzor is just like an absolute goat in every single run that I've used him. Him and like Exeggutor or whatever. Just crazy Pokemon, I think. So this is the second rival fight, because this is just as you leave Azalea Town. Once again, nothing too serious. Like the starter Pokemon's changed. I did lose my Chikorita, because I have a problem where I don't level up to close to level cap for a few of them, the ones that I'm not going to use. So once again, I just lost a Chikorita instead of having a Bayleaf, and then it died. I think I actually lost a Chikorita in the same spot twice, which is just after Faulkner. Whitney actually had a plan for this one, which was to put the Lickitung to sleep and then swap into Breloom and just use Bulk Up until I couldn't anymore. But I only got one off and then it was disabled. So I was actually kind of worried about this, thinking I'm going to lose my Breloom here. But I actually got really, really lucky with this fight, because even after the Intimidate, I'm still just mowing them down. That was a critical hit on the Clefable, and it's a critical hit on the Miltank. So I better win this run, just because, you know, I have to. So this is Morty. No, this isn't Morty. This is the other rival fight inside Burning Tower. Once again, no real issue with the rival, which is really upsetting because he beat us. He beat us in the last run, which kind of sucks. I gotta double check the team because now the starters are different. So hopefully I won't have to deal with that Electivire, but I probably will because I doubt they'll get rid of the electric type from the team. So from this point, we now go into the Morty fight, which once again just kind of difficult because like you don't really have the outs that you'd like to, like dark types and stuff. It's just kind of working around the Nuzlocke tracker and hoping to kind of counteract as you go. Like this, a Metapod to counteract the Giga Drain, and using the Jolteon switching on the potential Thunderbolt, because it could have been anything against Prinplup. I went with Prinplup because I want the Steel type again. I really like Empoleon. But yeah, use Prinplup mainly for this fight just because it's really bulky and has Surf, so it's kind of crazy in most of that. Yeah, risk for the Hyper Potion there just to get a bit more damage in. It was a bit of a risk, but whatever. You gotta kind of take it. Always risking the Hypnosis. I think on the second try. I feel like once I Hypnosis, I should definitely, if it fails, I should just stop and just swap out or something like that. But sometimes it works. Lost Manectric, which I don't know. I just pulled him in because with this fight, I just wanted stuff that could evolve. And not get hit too much. Wheezing, just big, bulky. Kind of just needed it to take out. Ideally, the first two of Chuck's stuff, but it did eat through a Hyper Potion, so honestly, it's not too bad. Yeah, Poliwrath. If you ever see pauses like this, I am watching The Walking Dead whilst playing / reading the Nuzlocke page as I go. So yeah, just kind of umming and ahhing about what to use. I didn't want to use my Starmie on this one. Breloom killed Starmie last time, so I actually swapped out on this one because I didn't know if I'd be able to kill it. Butterfree is real good. Butterfree has come through with a fair few fights in this game so far. We got our Bronzong. Loving the dude. Once again though, with Chuck, it's we lost our Bronzong. I don't know why it did that much damage. Like that was crazy, man. But yeah, I think with this fight it was pretty much just flying and psychic, and just try to swap in on potential moves that might not be fighting types, you know, like the ice punches and stuff like that. Just to take as little damage as possible as we switch around, because I'm very switch heavy, but I think you kind of need to be just to bait stuff out, you know, like this, you know, like knowing that they don't have rock type moves and stuff is really nice. And then this is where we move into the Elite Four, the Team Rocket battles that were kind of interesting. They weren't terribly hard, I don't think, if I don't remember. I mean, it looks like I'm doing fine at the moment. It's been a bit since I got to play. We got an Empoleon now, so now I'm getting into the whole leveling up close to the level cap, which is my downfall in the next fight, but we'll see what happens when I go back to actually playing it. But yeah, so they're not terrible fights. The game so far, I've blitzed through the first half pretty easy, I think. You know, lose a few here and there, but nothing so crazy that I think it's going to be like game ending. Other than the Bronzong, losing the Bronzong did suck, but at the same time, I've got a Starmie. I don't have a Starmie anymore. I forgot about that. I forgot about losing the Starmie, and this is the last fight. So, you know, double battle. I just know he had a bunch of normal and bug types, sort of like that. So. But this is where I kind of screw up, because the level cap for this area is actually 40 going into, and there you go. So I just lost probably the best thing I could have against Jasmine. So I'm going to have to make up some stuff. But just to go over a few things on encounters, I got to go get Lapras still on the Friday, because I think Lapras is just kind of crazy for Claire and stuff like that, and for Lance. Hopefully we can keep it for Lance this time, because I know she died in the Claire fight last time. and I accidentally messed up the Sudowoodo encounter. So for some reason I got the encounter and said, I don't really want Sudowoodo this time, I'll just get something else. Killed it and then realized, oh no, that is my encounter for the route. I have to double check what route it specifically was on, because I still might be able to go back and get a Pokemon there, which I might have actually already... I might have caught a Vulpix in that route just below Ecruteak, because I think Sudowoodo is the route below, which I definitely didn't get a Pokemon for. So I lost out on the Sudowoodo, which was just dumb, because Sudowoodo was actually really good in that last round. And that's about it. That's all that's kind of happened so far. I think some takeaways are definitely... I should be sequencing better in the sense of, okay, like what I did with Morty, where it's like, okay, if I start with Prinplup, I can move into, I can risk the Thunderbolt to go into Jolteon. Even if I took a Giga Drain, that's still a free swap into Butterfree. I'm either going to die from the Giga Drain, but it's definitely not going to use Thunderbolt going into the Butterfree switch, and I've still got a good couple Psybeams into the Gengar. Just stuff like that. Just like building my team around stuff like that. I think we're looking good for the next half of the game so far. I've just got to pay attention. I'm a little worried about the Giovanni fight in Team Rocket's hideout. So that's going to be my biggest kind of concern, because they are back-to-back. So I do have to really, really think about how I want to be doing that fight, I think. And then play it like a champ, which I've been doing alright. Because the perk is, without me talking to the TV or to the recording, I can take my time more in the fights. Like, these fights are sped up and then sped up again in editing, so it's really, really fast, but it's a lot longer when I'm sitting here and actually like paying attention. Oh look, we caught a Magmar, so maybe that'll make up for not having a fire type for Jasmine. Anyway, I'm going to call it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in part 2. Later.